At the heart of James Purdey and Sons, ever since we started 200 years ago, has been the quality of the craftsmanship involved in building the guns, rifles, and in the early days pistols. It was James Purdey's whole ambition to build the very best. He developed over his lifetime, and he died in 1864, the Purdey Way, which was the way Purdey did things, which was uncompromising, with the focus absolutely on quality and doing it right. Craftsmanship still continues to this very day to be absolutely at the heart of every gun we make. And we have some of the best craftsmen in the world. When James Purdey completed a 7-year apprenticeship in 1805, the year of Trafalgar, he got a job with Joseph Manton, who was, I think by all accounts, the best quality gun maker at the time in London. After 5 years with Manton, he left to work with the Reverend Dr. Alexander Forsyth. And Dr. Forsyth's principal claim to fame was to be for the invention of the percussion cap. So James Purdey had very much been Forsyth's right-hand man at that important period of research. But he always wanted to set up his own business, and that opportunity arose in 1814, and he set up his first shop. He always decided, right at the outset, that he wanted to build guns for the nobility and gentry, in other words, the top end of the market, the best quality guns, which would command the highest prices. Now, our first contact with the royal family was in 1838, the year after Queen Victoria had come to the throne, when she ordered a pair of pistols as a gift for the Imam of Muscat. Then, in 1868, her son, the Prince of Wales, later King Edward VII, brought in a troublesome German-made rifle, and James Purdey fixed it. And he was so pleased that he conferred his royal warrant. The whole ethos of the development of the sporting gun in the 19th century was to do with making them work more efficiently and faster. Those who were lucky enough to be able to afford to buy a Purdey and shoot with a Purdey would always say how wonderfully well it worked. I mean, when we launched the Hammer Ejector gun in 1880, one of its unique selling points was the fact that it had an assisted opening action, invented and designed by Frederick Beasley, who was one of our actioners. And this, after you had fired the gun, you pushed the top lever over another Purdey patent, and it sprung open, and the ejectors popped the cartridges out. This was shaving seconds, or fractions of seconds off every time you reloaded the gun, so you were able to get off more shells. The sport of shooting is essentially a very social pastime. Pulling the trigger and shooting a bird is but a very small part of the total culture of the day, which is all about meeting old friends. On that basis, I mean, we, as the provider of guns for many people, we are an integral part. Purdeys have provided shooting accessories, certainly since the 19th century. The Purdey clothing side has gone on to be a very important element of our business. So that's where shooting has enabled us to develop the business in terms of providing our customers with nice clothing and accessories and things that reflect the same attention to detail and quality that we put into the guns. We like to think that people who order new Purdey guns can rely totally on us to provide the service that you would expect of a first-class gun maker. We have very warm working relationships with the principal shooting agents. So if somebody says, I'd like to go and shoot grouse in Yorkshire or something, what do I do? It doesn't happen very often, this, by the way, because most people know perfectly well what to do, but we can advise. We have been operating the Purdey Awards for Game and Conservation since 1999, and the purpose of this is to give reward and recognition to people who work long, hard hours in developing habitats for improving their shoots, but also in the process do a huge amount of good for the management of the countryside and new tree plantings, hedge plantings, and so on and so forth. It's been one of the most worthwhile things I've ever done, because I thought what a wonderful way to put something back into the sport which has enabled our business to flourish over 200 years. So it's been an enormous privilege, an enormous pleasure, and an enormous source of pride that I was able to be chairman until I retired in 2007, and that I've remained with the business since. I think we have to say that we're very fortunate in having a team dedicated to Purdey quality, and our whole mission statement belief in giving the best possible service to our customers. And who are our customers going to be? Well, the world is our oyster. So I believe there are all sorts of new opportunities in the new world and beyond.